Welcome to Spreading the Floor with your hosts, Jacob Cooperman and Nigel Petty Fernandez. Your go-to podcast for basketball's forecast.
They always love to go out and compete against each other ever since their team split up. It's always been a staple of the NBA to watch Westbrook go up against Kevin Durant. I think both of them think they have something to prove when they do so. And also it's just like two potential game winners by Kyrie and KD, both
missed.
Nothing went in. So you got to try. Obviously that's a Wizards win, but at the same time, it's like, come on, KD, Kyrie, you guys could have won that one. That could have been yours.
Well, so are we gonna hop on? Are we gonna jump on KD and? I mean, I understand that both of them missed game winning, but let's not pretend like they haven't been looking scary. Like I feel like see a lot of people talking. And I'm not accusing you of this, Nigel, but I've been seeing a lot of people talking about. I mean, it's the nature of NBA media. It's another thing that we can nitpick about NBA media and NBA fans is that they're very knee jerk. Like there was a lot of critics about Steph when the Golden State Warriors were off to a slow start, when it might have just been the team melding, might have been Steph Curry readjusting, and I think he has. And there's going to be a lot of people that are critical of this Nets team. I mean, let's not pretend like for a few games there, everyone was looking at the Nets like, holy shit, dude, this team is dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand.
Yeah, definitely.
I understand that to be on top and the Eastern Conference is way more competitive, you need to be solid and you need to be consistent. That was the opposite. They were not. They were consistent up until the end. It was a 1-point victory for the Wizards.
Yeah, I mean they both players played well, but it just seemed like the Wizards wanted it just that much more. Yeah, and they took that's what it comes down to in the last couple of seconds of a game is like you got to take the shot and either you make it or you miss. They both had their opportunities and it didn't go in, and maybe that'll be different next time, but that's really what it comes down to. And that is a scary team, but you see KD out just in the news drop today. KD's out for 4 games,
right?
For 7 days for COVID violations. That's bad news. That's big. You don't want to see that. I mean, 4 games is one thing, okay? 4 games, it's probably not going to make or break them. That's no big deal. But what if you're a Nets fan, what you're scared of is that. Is this going to be a common theme with KD? Are we going to see a 40-game season out of him, or are we going to look for the full 72-game season, which is what I think it is this year? And that will be the difference between a high playoff seed or a low playoff seed. You know what I'm saying? Whether KD is this the start of a chain of KD or Kyrie not being actually playing games, which they both have a history of.
Right.
Both injury-prone players. Kyrie loves taking time off, and sitting on the bench during games. He did that with the Celtics. So, and also load management. I think that's something you brought up earlier.
Yeah, a lot of people speculating.
That's just not something you want to see from your star players. You want them to go out there and battle every night. And if KD is not professional enough to listen to the rules of the league, is that what we're in tune for? Is that what we're ready to watch?
Well, it's certainly, I don't know, because a lot of people again were speculating about whether or not this was actually a coronavirus. I guess because if you go under coronavirus protocol safety measures, you were exposed at some point. Kind of came out of nowhere for me. I don't know if I just haven't been paying enough attention, but like this happened, I think 30 minutes before we recorded. I was sitting there like, what?
Yeah.
What happened? So I don't know if this is, I don't think the league would put out a fake headline or or, you know what I'm saying, a fake official story. But a lot of people, again, were speculating about the fact that this might be more load management. They took the rest after, I think both KD and Kyrie were resting after the first 2 games where they absolutely annihilated the Golden State Warriors and the Bucks. They took rest.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's something that they necessarily need to do, because it's not like let's just say for hypothetical sake, they were on a team like the Knicks. Sorry, Nigel. We'll get into the Knicks in a second. Knicks of last year, because I actually have a theory about the Knicks this year. The Knicks of last year.
Right.
And they're, for the large part, the only 2 players contributing, right?
Right.
I could see why they would want to do load management and rest. But it's not like that at all. They have Joe Harris. I mean, they have, again, I'm going to say this so many times, it's going to probably make people angry. They have a bench that could probably be a starting five on not any other team, but some other teams, some bottom of the conference teams. They have DeAndre Jordan there. They have this combination of potent talents on that team. They don't really need load management. Sure, I mean, listen, they're contributing like crazy. They're contributing every single game. They're combining for 60 points, something crazy like that. I get that. But you are still, if you're KD and Kyrie, you are still the main two contributing forces on that team, and you cannot be, you know what I'm saying? And even listen, let's think about it like this, right? Let's say that this actually is a corona. Let's say if KD actually got exposed to corona. You can't even be doing that. You're still the two head dogs on this team. You operate as if you are the two head dogs on this team. Everyone views you as if you're the two head dogs on this team. You can't be taking, I mean, you could take breaks. I want to see you take a break maybe every 15 games. At most. Am I using that right? At most?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
at
saying?
Most.
Like, you could take a break once in a while. I'm not saying you have to just be laser focused all the time, and they're going to have off games, and they're going to have games. I hope they don't get injured, because those are two guys that are coming off of injury. Kyrie, I think, has a little bit of an injury bug. I hope they don't get injured. But let's not sit here and pretend like, even though this Nets team is terrific, let's not pretend like it's not KD and Kyrie running that ship.
Yeah. I agree with you up until I think that what should be specified is these guys are coming off injury, which means that their bodies are a little bit just that much more fragile. I think they are on limited minutes, but I will break bread with you, and I'll meet you in the middle. I think that if that is the reason that KD is taking a break, then that is more acceptable than the coronavirus stuff. I don't think if he's willing to go out there and risk the safety of his teammates and his coach and his coaching staff and whatever, and the other team, that is less acceptable than just being like, hey, he's coming off a year injury. We don't want to push him too hard. We're going to give him the next 4 games off.
Yeah. I could see that. Well, also,
rather than him, go ahead. My bad. I mean, cut you off.
We don't. I mean, I cut you off all the time, so it wouldn't just be equal. I'm really bad about that, actually. I think we don't know yet. I gotta see. I could check the ESPN notification here. We don't know why he's out the 4 day or the 4 games. Excuse me.
It's a 7 day. It's a 7 day isolation.
There's no actual. I don't think there's an official reasoning behind it. It just says Nets forward Kevin Durant is facing a 7-day quarantine due to COVID-19 exposure. So we just know he got exposed. We don't know if he was like walking around. I mean, it could have been internal in the organization. So,
well, no, I don't think it could have been internal, because then it'd probably be more than just KD, unless the news only drops about KD because he's a high-profile player.
This might, or we might see further cases.
It could have been. Listen, it could have been anything from him going out to like a bar to him just like maybe his mom might have been exposed at work and then he saw her or something.
Yeah, well, I also know that the players aren't allowed to go out to venues.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
It's possible that happened. Either way, the thing is, we don't know. Like, if he was visiting his mom and his mom was at work and someone had it at her job or something, that's different story. That's accepted. It's like, okay, yeah. But if he was going out to a bar or something, or if he was being irresponsible, I'd rather than that's just be like, hey, this guy, we don't want to work him too hard.
I guess we could sit here all day and postulate on what it could be. But I think the main point still stands. It's something that we kind of met on the middle on. I actually didn't even think about that. It's a good point you brought up, Nigel, is that the fact that these guys are coming off of injuries. These guys are just getting back into the swing of things. I just think that if the Nets, again, do you agree that it's a momentum based league at the moment?
I do agree with that.
So,
I do agree with that.
So if you're the Nets, right, and you're 3-4 right now, wouldn't you want to stack the box now, keep KD and Kyrie in until you can get, let's say, head and shoulders against the rest of the East, which at the moment is looking pretty. It's looking like a pretty uphill battle, because you have to get through all these teams at the top. The 76ers are 5-1. You're 3-4. I think if you're the Nets, you just work yourself into a place where you can either take sporadic breaks, or if KD and Kyrie, either player is saying, hey, listen, I'm not feeling it today, you could just sit them out. I think that's more likely for the Nets, and I think that's a better strategy than just, and because I know these guys are both, KD less so, but Kyrie and KD could both be considered divas.
Yeah, I think definitely. So what you're saying is that you think it's a better strategy to put the work in now.
Yeah.
You know, get your wins in now, so that later on down the season you can throw a few games here and there if one of them wants to take a break.
Right. If one of them wants, one of them says, "Hey man, I want this game out." Sure. Listen, we're 5 games up from second place. Sure.
Yeah.
Take a game. You know what I'm saying? Our bench has got this. We could slot in someone else. You're gonna be fine.